Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's Milwaukee coming at you once again, and today we're going to be talking about Poe Dameron, Volume 3, Legend Lost, by Charles Soule and Angel Unzveta? Unzveta? Sorry, Angel. By Angel. This trade is a little different. It's got a lot of little mini stories, combined into like one trade. And the first one is, Poe Dameron. He goes to the planet Farion. Yeah, Farion, to meet one of his old Navy buddies named Suralinda. And Suralinda leads Poe on, leading him to believe that she has info on the First Order. But of course she doesn't. And so the First Order, they get into like a whole bunch of combat here. And of course Poe saves the day. And he brings Suralinda to the Resistance base where she's planning on, unbeknownst to Poe, she's going to betray the Resistance and leak the base because she's a journalist and she needs a story. But when she gets to the base, she meets Leia, she sees the Resistance, she sees what they're trying to do against the First Order. Plus, she was just attacked by the First Order. So she decides to join the Resistance. But of course, they're a little untrustworthy of her, so she gets a job as like a janitor. And, that's the first story arc in the trade. The next story arc starts off with a service for the fallen comrade Lulo, the Duros, who, I didn't think he was going to die in this comic series. I thought he made it to The Force Awakens, but I guess I was wrong. But, it starts off with a funeral service for him, and then it cuts to the First Order space where our boy T-Rex, he's in prison after the events of the last issue when Poe turned him over. Well, not last issue, last volume, where Poe turned him over to the First Order. And, he has to answer to Captain Phasma, everybody's favorite. And so he has to prove his usefulness to the First Order or they're going to execute him. Meanwhile, at the Resistance base, Leia grounds Poe, meaning he can't fly. And this story is sort of parallels where T-Rex and Poe, their stories, they're both got to convince their leader that they're useful and they should be allowed to do their jobs. Well, anyway, T-Rex goes on to prove his usefulness to the First Order, but not as like a free-thinking being. He has all this knowledge and information in his head, and Captain Phasma sees that stuff as useful. So what she does is she turns him into like a cyborg, which was out of left field. I didn't see that one coming. And so, Poe gets ungrounded by Leia, and we got a new villain introduced, Commander Malaris, who is a woman who has like a drug addiction where she injects this thing into her eye. It's pretty gnarly. So the next story arc contained within this volume consists of, Black Squadron. They're being sent on a fuel run, but of course the fuel is intercepted by the First Order and Commander Malaris. And when the first Black Squadron, they get there, they take hold of the ship and they start, heading out, getting ready to go to hyperspace, and they realize that, the ship is rigged, and if it slows down, it's going to explode. The idea was that it would jump to hyperspace, come out of hyperspace, and destroy, the first, the Resistance base. I don't know why I'm getting confused today, but, so it's basically Speed, if you ever saw that movie with the bus that can't slow down. Yeah, it's a pretty good arc, but, of course, Black Squadron, they find a way to thwart Malaris, and they get away scot-free. This next story arc is kind of a continuation of the previous one. Leia, she sends Jessica Pavic and Suralinda to go get footage of the First Order, being bad so they can spread it around the galaxy to help get more followers to the Resistance cause. Because right now the Resistance is still small. It needs to grow in order to, face the First Order threat. And she sends Snap Wexley and Poe to go retrieve that traitorous mechanic that we talked about in the previous video. And as things go on, everybody gets captured. Jessica and Suralinda get captured by the First Order on the planet they go to. And Poe and Snap get caught by Poe and Snap, they get caught as well. So anyway, they're all on the First Order ship. And of course, Adi Muva, who is the traitor mechanic, he's there as well. And he learns that Black Squadron has, been captured and they're going to be executed and all this stuff. So, of course, he helps Poe and them escape. And then Poe gets to the planet where Jessica and Sir Linda are. And he saves them. And Adimuva, he sacrifices himself. And that's basically it. Yeah, so this volume was kind of all over the place. But what I really enjoyed about it was we start getting, backstory on one of the Black Squadron pilots, Jessica Pavic. She pretty good character. There's a whole thing with her and astromech droids that's pretty enjoyable. I feel like she's a character who has some legs that could carry her own series, in the future, but we'll see. I also enjoyed the new character introduced here, Linda. I like her design. I never seen a species like her before in Star Wars. She might be brand new. I'm not sure on that. But she looks like an avatar. And she has like this attack where she like spits venom. It was unexpected, and that's how she gets out of a couple of jams, by burning people's faces off. It's pretty cool. At this point, she's the resistance are not trusting her so much. But we'll just have to see where the storyline goes in the future. But pretty enjoyable. Also, I want to touch on the art by Angel here. I think it's superior to that of Phil Noto's. Don't hang me, but I was really digging the art here. And usually when there's an artist switch, it's usually for the worse. I feel like this time it's for the best. And I'm looking ahead, and he's going to finish out the series, so I'm looking forward to that. All that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give Poe Dameron, Volume 3, Legend Lost, a 3 out of 5. I really feel like the series is picking up speed here, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes next. But, it's still not really blowing me away. It's just kind of here. And, so yeah. Until next time, I'll see you there.